Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 65 and 66, Canto 7, Chapter 10. Atau sa shakti bhi swabhi Shambho pradhanikam yadhat Dharma jnana viraktiyadhi Tapo vidya kriyadibhi Atasau shakti bhi swabhi Shambho pradhanikam vyadhat Dharma jnana virakti Tapo vidya kriyadibhi. Ladies. Ataha, thereafter. Asau, he, Lord Krishna. Shaktibihi, by his potencies. Swabhihi, personal. Shambho, of Lord Shiva. Pradhanikam, ingredients. Vyadhat, created. Dharma, religion. Jnana, knowledge. Virakti, renunciation. Riddhi, opulence. Tapaha, austerity. Vidya, education. Kriya, activities. Adibhi, by all these and other transcendental opulences. So that's text 65 and is combined in the Bhagavatam here with text 66. I'll read the translation. Narada Muni continued. Thereafter, Lord Krishna, by his own personal potency, consisting of religion, knowledge, renunciation, opulence, austerity, education, and activities, equipped Lord Shiva with all the necessary paraphernalia, such as a chariot, a charioteer, flag, horses, elephants, a bow, a shield, and arrows. When Lord Shiva was fully equipped in this way, he sat down on the chariot with his arrows and bow to fight with the demons. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 12, 13, 16. This is very close to the end of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. Vaishnavanam yata shambhu. Lord Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas, the devotees of Lord Krishna. Indeed, he is one of the Mahajanas, or the 12 authorities on Vaishnava philosophy. Starts with Swayambhu, Narada, then Shambhu, that's Lord Shiva, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, etc. Lord Krishna is always prepared to help all the Mahajanas and devotees in every respect. Kaunteya prati janihi name bhakta pranashati, from Bhagavad Gita. Although Lord Shiva is very powerful, he lost a battle to the Asuras, and therefore he was morose and disappointed. However, because he is one of the chief devotees of the Lord personally equipped him with all the paraphernalia for war. The devotees, therefore, must serve the Lord sincerely, and Krishna is always in the background to protect him and, if need be, to equip him fully to fight with his enemy. For devotees, there is no scarcity of knowledge or material requisites for spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. Very interesting rendering of what's going on here. Krishna is ready to equip his devotee in all respects for spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. So there's some devotees here who are not regularly at the Chicago temple, and so just to give a little background on this whole narration. This is chapter 10 entitled Prahlad, the best among exalted devotees. So chapter 10 covers a wide range of topics. It's the conclusion of the whole pastime with the appearance of Lord Nrsingadev protecting Prahlad, Prahlad's prayers to the demigods, to Lord Nrsingadev, Prahlad's prayers to Lord Nrsingadev, Lord Nrsingadev's reply back and forth, wishing to give benedictions, Prahlad wishing just for the deliverance of his father as his primary benediction, and so on. And then the pastime ends, and then Lord Brahma, who was also in that assembly, all the demigods were in that assembly. He's one of the ones that spoke prayers to Lord Nrsingadev that didn't satisfy or pacify him. So then he speaks to Lord Nrsingadev once again, saying that it's how nice that you've given these benedictions to Prahlad. And just appreciating, because it comes up again in just a moment, he's appreciating how kind the Lord is to his devotee. Of course, Lord Brahma is also a devotee, but we're hearing from Brahma that he considers Prahlad to be greater. a greater devotee than he is, than Lord Brahma is. And the narrator of all of this, that goes way back in the 7th canto, several chapters, it's Narada Muni is the speaker, and he's speaking to Maharaj Yudhishthira. So after that exchange, Lord Brahma speaking to Lord Nrsingadev, Narada Muni continues speaking directly to Yudhishthira, saying, yes, Krishna is very kind to his devotees, and he'll always give protection to his devotees. And he goes back and gives the example of how to protect his devotees, Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana, and Krishna killed Shishupal. But when killing Shishupal, he gave him liberation, Sayuja, liberation, Sayuja Mukti, merging into the body of Krishna. Krishna is very kind, even to Shishupal, by giving him liberation. But then he goes on and saying, if he's so kind to his devotees, then what to speak of you, the Pandavas? He's Lord Krishna, who is worshipped in the Vedas as, in the Upanishads as the Brahman effulgence, which is just an aspect of Krishna. Krishna stays with you in your home, in your palace. You're intimately associated with Krishna. How fortunate are you? People, great sages, great other personalities, kings and so forth, they come to be in your palace to pay their respects to the greatness that you represent by being so dear to Krishna. And in short, in the summary at the beginning of the chapter, Prabhupada says, this is an indication that Prahlad is greater than Lord Brahma, and the Pandavas are greater than Prahlad. And we find that specifically in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Narada Muni, part 1, Narada Muni is searching for the greatest recipient of Krishna's mercy, and that same transcendental intimacy of affection towards Krishna and Krishna towards his devotee is described in very beautiful way, in great detail. So after saying that, how fortunate the Pandavas are, and this theme that's been discussed previously by Narada is how the Supreme Lord always protects his devotee. He then moves to the topic of the Supreme Lord protected Lord Shiva. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, where amongst the Puranas, it's considered the Amala Purana or spotless Purana. There's meaning. There's Puranas in the mode of ignorance, Puranas in the mode of passion, Puranas in the mode of goodness. And amongst those in the mode of goodness, there's one that's Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness, or beyond the touch of the modes of nature. This is an important point. Satyam Param Dhimahi. The Bhagavatam is a commentary on Gayatri Mantra, according to the other Puranas. And Gayatri Mantra, like some of the other Puranas, Gayatri Mantra is viewed by some that Gayatri Mantra is a meditation on so many different things. Some view that the Gayatri Mantra is a meditation on the sun, worship of the sun god. Some view the Gayatri Mantra is worship of Brahman. Guess who thinks that? And Others is they view, the view of the Vedas that there's many gods, and the Gayatri mantra is appreciating the many gods. And Bhagavatam makes it very clear that Gayatri mantra is meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's explicitly stated in the 12th canto of the Bhagavatam. It's explicitly stated. It's stated in relation to Bharat Maharaj, in relation to Bharat Maharaj, who was the son of King Rishabdev. When he left his position as the king, the emperor of the world, he went to the forest to develop himself in devotion to the personality of Godhead, and he chanted this Gayatri mantra. Prabhupada is very, very clear. The Gayatri indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not exactly the sun, not the effulgence from the sun, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the worshipable deity of the sun. In any case, Bhagavatam is speaking of the conclusion of all the Vedas, the ripened fruit of all the Vedas. Nigama kalpataror galitam palam. Nigama means teachings or scripture. Nigama kalpataram galitam palam. It's the pala, the fruit that's ripened of all the tree of the Vedas that can give anything. It can fulfill all desires, material or spiritual, and all varieties of material and all varieties of spiritual desires. It's that kind of literature. But the ripened fruit is the Srimad Bhagavatam that speaks of the personality of Godhead as the Supreme. I mean, for us, Hare Krishna devotees, it's really easy because that's the training that we receive from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Others are not so clear. Other Puranas, for example, Tamasic Puranas, specifically they glorify Lord Shiva, and there's narrations where there's encounter between Shiva and some form of Lord Vishnu, and Shiva prevails in some conflict with Lord Vishnu to indicate, at least to the reader, Shiva is supreme. Jiva Goswami in the Sandarbhas points out that in the Skanda Purana, Lord Shiva says to Parvati, "My dear Devi," within the Puranas, there are sometimes statements that conflict with the Sattvic Puranas, that is, Vishnu is supreme. And my dear Devi, what you should do is ignore those because they're discrepancies. So it's one of the rules in Sanskrit, just speaking in a general way, besides the Puranic stories. I'm going into this because it's a Puranic story that's a little confusing, can be confusing. The rule in Sanskrit is when there's a certain word, the rule is you must take the direct meaning. Unless the direct meaning is in conflict with the conclusion of the Vedas, and then you must then make some adjustment or interpretation. There's a secondary meaning. It can't mean this, it has to mean that. Then you're justified to say it means that. It's essentially what Lord Shiva is saying to Parvati. These portions of the Puranas that present narrations, for example, that Lord Shiva is supreme above Lord Vishnu, those narrations are in discord with the Vaishnava portions of the Bhagavatam, of the Puranas, and they should just be ignored, dismissed. That means you take a secondary meaning, not that Lord Shiva is supreme above Vishnu, but some other understanding must be the conclusion, not the direct, apparently direct meaning. So the Bhagavatam sets the ground, the standard, and in this narration, Narada is so the intention of Narada to Yudhisthira is to just give another example of how the Supreme Lord, as he protected Prahlad, as the Supreme Lord protected the devotees during the time of Ramchandra's rule, had Krishna protected devotees during the rule of Ugrasena. So similarly, the Supreme Lord is the protector. If you are a little familiar with the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, one of them is protection. Just like in the Christmas weekend, we discussed the principles of surrender. And one of them is to understand Krishna is my protector. It's one of the 6. So here's an example, spoken by Narada to Yudhisthira. Krishna protected Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was defeated in a conflict with Mayadanava. Wasn't exactly defeated, but he was defeated. So Yudhisthira says, oh, tell me all about this. I want to hear about it. Why did Mayadanava do what he did with Lord Shiva? How is it that Mayadanava was able to overwhelm Lord Shiva? What did Lord Shiva do? Please give this description. So he gives the description. The theme is Krishna is the protector of his devotee, and that Lord Shiva is his devotee. That's the theme. So that the narration goes like this. There was a battle. The devotees, the demigods, were in conflict with the asuras, the demons. And the demons were being defeated because the demigods, empowered by Lord Vishnu, they were more powerful. So the demons were losing. So the demons went to the best of the demons, Mayadanava. Specifically, the feature of Mayadanava is he was really good at technology. Technology in the hands of a person that doesn't have character is very dangerous. The world is filled with people that have fascination with technology and don't have character, and they do very dangerous things. So they went to Mayadanava, help! So Mayadanava helped them. He was very willing to do something to help the demons. So what he did was, with his mystic powers of technology, he created 3 vimanas, or flying machines. One made of gold, silver, and iron. And he made them invisible, and made the demons so they could be invisible. It's something like right out of a movie or something. And so in this invisible vimana, they came and started attacking the demigods. And the demigods, weapons were coming out of apparently nowhere, and how could they fight back? So the demigods approached Lord Shiva, saying, help. We respect and worship you. Can you give us protection? So he said, sure, I'll give you protection. And immediately he had this special bow. He fired special arrows that looked like streaks of lightning and smashed these invisible vimanas, and they fell to the ground, apparently dead. Mayadanava came along and made a lake of some kind of mystical nectar. He dipped the dead demigods into the mystical nectar. Imagine a movie producer filming this. Dipped them into this lake of mystical something or other, nectar, and they came out like thunderbolts, ready to fight. So that was how apparently Lord Shiva was defeated, because he destroyed the demons, but Mayadanava brought them back to life. So in that way, defeated. So then, what did Lord Shiva do? Lord Shiva went to Lord Vishnu, help. So what Lord Shiva did was, he and Lord Brahma, he assumed the form of a cow, Brahma assumed the form of a calf, and they went to that lake or pond and started drinking all the nectar, this, whatever it is, mystical material. And the demons saw it, but they were covered by the Lord's potency such that they didn't do anything. So, the way of preventing Mayadanava for again bringing them to this position of back to life, that was taken away by the arrangement of Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu, this verse is Lord Vishnu equipped Lord Shiva with, based on his powers, so the verses here is Dharma, Jnana, Virakti, Riddhi, Tapa, Vidya, Kriya, etc. These are all potencies of Lord Vishnu, the omnipotent. In unlimited degrees, he has these things. So based upon his potencies, he equipped Lord Shiva with everything he needed to go to battle and defeat the demons again. Chariot, charioteer, flag, horses, elephants, plural, a bow, a shield, and arrows. Now, Lord Shiva is very powerful. He's very powerful. He's not a living entity. He's in this separate category of tattva. He's not Vishnu, but he's not a living entity. He's in his own category. Very, very powerful. At the same time, very powerful, Bhagavatam teaches us that he's a devotee. Often you see paintings or portraits of Lord Shiva sitting in meditation. Upon whom is he meditating? He's meditating on the Supreme Lord. And just like we chant prayers, yesterday we chanted the Brahma Samhita prayers, or there's Gayatri initiation, and devotees now are chanting their Gayatri mantra. Lord Shiva chants some prayers. And those prayers of Lord Shiva, they're very famous. And he very kindly gave those prayers to the prachetas. And because of those prayers, they got the mercy not only of Lord Shiva, but of Lord Vishnu, because his prayers are about Lord Vishnu. Lord Shiva is meditating on Lord Vishnu. It's similar. The Bhagavatam is helping us understand that Krishna is the Supreme. There's a section in Canto 2, where Narada sees Brahma meditating, and he gets baffled. Why are you meditating? I thought you were the Supreme. I mean, you're the Creator. Is there someone greater than you? The commentary says he was taking that position just so that Brahma could speak. Narada's not an ordinary person. Narada's a perfected being. He says, like Arjuna becoming bewildered, he took that position by the influence of the Lord's potencies so that Brahma could say, no, I'm not Supreme. There is a Supreme who's the source of everything, including me, and including you, and including everything, and including Lord Shiva. In the pastimes of Krishna, in Dwarka, there's this nice description that in the morning, when the roosters would do what roosters do, crow or whatever, their sound, in the early morning, Krishna would wake. But it's not like us. We need an alarm clock and we're zonked out. It's just a pastime. Krishna would awaken and he would leave the side of his queens, who would then start feeling separation from his absence, but then he would perform his morning duties. And his morning duties was he would go meditate on the Supreme, who is himself, called Ahangra Upasana. Aham Upasana, Ahangra Upasana. So there are Mayavadis, that's what they do. They meditate on themselves. I am supreme. I am God. Imitating what Krishna did. So Lord Shiva is meditating on Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma is meditating on Lord Vishnu or Krishna, and Krishna is meditating on Krishna because he's supreme. And the way that the Prabhupada is presenting the purport is making it very clear, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva is the best. Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, he's the best of Vaishnavas. Now we could also say Radharani's the best of Vaishnavas, or Govardhan Hill is the best of the Vaishnavas. We can say those things too. This one doesn't cancel out that one. But in this world, of that set, Lord Shiva is the best. And for one who is the devotee of the Supreme Lord gives his protection. That's the overall theme of why this is being narrated. Krishna is giving, or Lord Vishnu is giving, protection to the demigods by drinking that pond of nectar that turned the demons back to life again, created by Maya Danava. So now Lord Shiva is equipped with very invincible weapons given directly by Lord Vishnu, with the purpose of destroying the demons. So it's something like the description when Indra is given a thunderbolt to destroy Vritrasura. And somehow Vritrasura, somebody sent him a text message and he found out. He had a spy in the camp of the Devas, and he found out that the thunderbolt weapon in Indra's hand was blessed, benedicted, empowered by Lord Vishnu to destroy Vritrasura. So he wasn't fearful. He just wanted the will of Lord Vishnu to be done. So when the will of Lord Vishnu is there, nothing can stop. Nothing can stop. This is the conviction, the faith, and the way of life of the Lord's devotee. When Krishna or Lord Vishnu give their protection, nothing can stop. There's this little saying, it's interesting, kind of like riddle-like. If Krishna wants to protect somebody, no one can harm them. And when Krishna wants to destroy somebody, nobody can protect them. Krishna's will is supreme. He's all powerful. So here, this verse is saying he's giving his shaktis. Ata sao shakti bhi. He's endowed with transcendental shaktis. He's investing from those transcendental shaktis potency in Lord Shiva to be victorious in battle. So he's going to be victorious. Now, the last point, similarly with our Sankirtan activity. or just living our life as devotees in general. If we're living by the order, in the case of Sankirtan, the order is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In every town and village, his name should be heard and chanted. And the message of devotion should be spread to every person. Many times Lord Chaitanya spoke like that to his devotee. Whoever you see, whoever you meet, tell them something about Krishna and save the land. That's the instruction. With the instruction, we're assured of success. Will there be obstacles? Plenty. But when in meeting those obstacles, the devotees are assured of success. Not that there won't be setbacks or anything like that. Here's Lord Shiva, he's got a setback, so what to speak of us? It's not a point of discouragement, it's a point of, now we have an opportunity to take even greater and deeper shelter of Krishna, knowing for sure, being very confident, expecting Krishna's mercy. This is the teaching of the Bhagavatam. Expect Krishna's mercy. So the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, other than our own internal, stuff, dissension and those kinds of things, influences of Kali where this group is quarreling with that group and so forth, the Sankirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will carry on. We want to see, using our motto for strategic planning, more devotees and happier devotees. That's like, unpack that one, it's a lot. The happier devotees, there must be pure in order to be happy. Pure in devotion, without any mix of anything other than the interest of the personality of Godhead and so on. So that's what we want, and it will be successful. Just stay faithful to the principle that's given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then in our practical lives, whether it's in the workplace or in the community of devotees or in the family or wherever it may be, similarly, there's instructions and how to lead our lives. And we with faith, we follow those things. Knowing because we're following those things, the blessing of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna will be with us. We try sincerely to do our very best in that regard, assured of success. The verse that Prabhupada's quoting in the purport, Koteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. Pranashati means destroyed. My devotee is never destroyed or vanquished. So we will be protected. This is our faith. Krishna is our protector. And no one's greater than Krishna. So we just stay at Krishna's feet and try to serve Krishna in a pleasing and favorable way, as best we can, according to our level of Krishna consciousness, and prays for a more elevated level of Krishna consciousness as we move along. Okay, so any comments or discussion on the verse? Yes?
On the point of Krishna's protection of his devotees, this came up during the Christmas retreat as well. And you were expressing that it doesn't look the same way each time necessarily, meaning Krishna's protection is such multifaceted and multidimensional. I was thinking about this verse. Here Lord Shiva is I guess for the sake of pastime, frustrated by one Maya Danava. Um, and then later in the next canto, Lord Shiva can drink an entire ocean of poison that was ready that would have destroyed the universe. And in this case,
And Lord Vishnu appeals to him
yeah.
to do this service.
So I was just appreciating the as you had expressed in Christmas retreat. It's been there in my I guess consciousness of the different ways in which Krishna protects, and we can't say this is protection. That doesn't seem like protection. And so I was just appreciating how the different ways he does it.
In that section where Lord Vishnu is appealing to Lord Shiva to do the service of taking the ocean of poison, verse after verse after verse, the purport Prabhupada says, this is very nice. It is showing that Lord Vishnu is supreme. Lord Vishnu is supreme. Lord Vishnu is supreme. Although he's petitioning Lord Shiva, can you do this service? Save the land. Lord Vishnu is supreme. Then he explains how. We take the secondary meaning because we must take the primary meaning. But even in that circumstance, it's Lord Vishnu that's giving the protection to his devotee, the devotees, or to the creation through Lord Shiva. That's how we're to see these things. Nice comment. Anything else? Yes, Subal.
Guru Maharaj, I was appreciating the definition that the verse gives to Krishna's opulences, that dharma, jnana, viraktirti, tapovidya, kriyadivi.
Yeah.
It's almost like the motto or the theme for a temple. If we see dharma, jnana, what is it? Religion, knowledge, renunciation. It's wonderful just to meditate on each one of those as things are supposed to be developed, in the facilities that are given, for worshiping Krishna. And also what you mentioned of to be able to receive those that protection of the Lord, that empowerment of those opulence manifests, because he manifested in the form of protecting his devotee, of giving all the facilities to the devotee. So you mentioned how that is us as a group, as the community of devotees, to receive that type of opulence or that type of facility. We have to be very, very mindful
Where
of
it comes from.
groupism and all these type of things. So I was appreciating very much.
Yeah, where it comes from and how to best interact with it. I was thinking of this word riddhi in the third line, the last word in the third line. Riddhi means, in the word for word, it's opulence. And when you read about the early days of the Hare Krishna movement, there was nothing. I mean, how devotees lived was just amazing. There's no facility, there was no wealth, there was nothing. But with what they had, they used. And then in course of time, depending in different circumstances, Krishna provided facility and opulence. Then I was also thinking, just hearing you speak, one of the things that happens when devotees are interested in buying a property somewhere, the local people get all concerned because they think their property value is going to diminish. They got, this Hare Krishna thing in their neighborhood. But it has turned always to be the opposite. Property values go up. And I can't think of an example that's otherwise. That's because of this. It's not because of, the Hare Krishnas are different. And therefore, because it's different, property values go up. It's this. And then again, as you're saying, when that does happen, some whatever it is, opulence, is made manifest. It's very nice. We can, just like I was thinking in our little gathering upstairs, that hall, because of the nice marble floor, it's much better than it was before. When it was before, it was strange. Anyway, it's an opulence. It's a lot of weight held on these beams or whatever is holding it up, and then all the people moving. So but the masons built the building strong, and it supports the weight, and it's an opulence. And so someone was sharing with me what it took to do such and such service without the particulars. They really sacrificed and really spent time and got really creative and really invested time and energy and thought to do something. Then my reply to them is just think of the millions and millions and millions and millions of hours and devotees that have done this and that and the other sacrifice to make what we have today. I mean, the sacrifice that the devotees went through to get this building, for example. We can just take it for granted. It's nice. But a lot of sacrifice. A lot of stuff. And then Prabhupada's Vyasa-san and the Sringasan. It's each thing is like lots of sacrifice. And here we are enjoying. And and it goes on too. It goes on. So it's good to not be mindless or just like children that just take. To understand, like ISKCON 50 years of that. Sacrifice. And those devotees that did, like Jayananda, those devotees that did that completely selfless service for years and years, and building a Rath Yatra cart with no budget. 3 of them. 4 stories tall. He got railroad ties. The cart was so heavy, but it was free. And then, etc., etc., etc. From nothing. He worked day and night, night and day and day and night, night and day and day and night with a team of people that just wanted to be with Jayananda and built the carts. What did he know about carts? Just sacrifice. Then now they have these portable ones. They don't have that big lumbering one. Anyway, by devotion, Krishna then reciprocates with the devotion and makes our life whatever it is today. But years and years and years and years. Sacrificing. So it's wonderful to express our appreciation for those gifts that Krishna has given through the exchange with Krishna and his devotees. Here and all over the place. And with that, take a deep breath and, okay, what's the next 50 years should that look like, and how are we going to help make that manifest? Life of devotion, it's endless. And then this is always going to happen. And some obstacles will always be there, and Krishna will always, there may be some reversals, and Krishna will help us. That's our faith. Nice life. The other life is a bluff, not nice. living above. Okay. Srila Prabhupada.